Hello and welcome. This is Sophia Jamal and you are watching NTV Primetime with me. Today, we are going to meet a very special guest on my show, especially on NTV Houston's platform. But before that, let's talk about life. How do we start? When we are children, we have protection of our parents. Then we grow up and we go to schools and colleges, then we have the protection of our institutions around us, our teachers around us, our friends and families around us. Then you enter the adult life and you figure it out, it's a cutthroat business. Then you realize like there is nobody to watch out for you. Today a very special guest, Mayor Sylvester Turner, has joined me on my platform. I want to talk to him about whatever happened in the past, how he started it, and how we take pride in calling him as our mayor of Houston. Thank you so much, Turner, for joining me, Mayor.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be with you, Sophie.
Thank you so much. Like I was mentioning over here, we can talk about all the controversies and all that, I'm sure.
Yes.
But it is quite a journey.
Yes.
How do you feel about it? Like when you look back, I heard you that you're from a very modest family,
yes.
and you were like a lot of brothers and sisters, and I heard you at someone's dinner once, like there was not enough chairs on the table in the dining area and you all used to take turns and sit. That really struck me. And I was like, you know, this guy has come a long way. But people don't look at it that way. Mm-hmm. How do you see your moving forward in life?
Well, you know, number one, thank you for having me. And it's good to be with you and your listening audience and viewing audience. But life is a journey.
Yes.
And where you start, hopefully, is not where you're going to end. So you have to move forward. Doesn't matter where you start, pretty much it's where you end. And for me, I grew up in this city, modest background. You know, neither one of my parents graduated from high school. I don't say that in a negative sense because they were very hardworking.
They couldn't, everything goes against you when you are in schools, you know.
Right. And my dad was hardworking, but my dad died when I was 13. He died of cancer. We didn't have any private health insurance, you know. Yeah. And then my mom took over as the captain of the ship, so to speak, raising 9 kids, you know, by herself. She never learned how to drive in Houston. She took the bus. She was a maid at the Rice Hotel downtown, rearing 9 kids. And she did an awesome job.
Tough life.
Yeah. But her focus was on making sure that her kids got educated. Education. And she wanted her kids to go far beyond where she did. And she always, her favorite statement was, tomorrow will be better than today.
I love it.
So hang in there. You would go to my mom and ask her for certain things. She didn't have it, but she would always say, you know, son, tomorrow will be better than today.
How do you face it today? Like there are so many adversaries, this and that, this is politics, everybody's there to kill the other person, and the words slice through our souls at times. Then that's what I was talking to you about before recording. Like how do you process it? It's not an easy deal.
No, it's not, but stay positive and know yourself. You know, in life we all face challenges, okay? But that's a part of it. And a part of the victory is overcoming those challenges, you know.
And so you do that every day.
You take it one.
Houston being such a diverse city, so many problems, so many people against you.
Yeah, nah, I don't think it's so many people against. You just hear a lot of noise. Let's take the noise out. Because oftentimes your greatest supporters are the ones who are silent.
Yeah.
They don't engage in the noise, okay? Because they're busy taking care of their daily lives. And they count on a person like me as the mayor to do my level best to make sure that the city is working for them and not against them. And for those people who are taking care of their daily lives, they go to work every day, or they're taking care of their children, you know, they're not out there making a whole lot of noise and complaining. They're just going about their daily business. So it's important for a person like me in the position that I hold to stay focused.
You bet.
To manage the day-to-day business of the city, and then to design and construct a city that will work for them and their children today
and for the future.
And for the future.
Now, coming to the communities and the people,
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a very regular question, which I'm sure a lot of people have asked you, and you must be tired of answering it. You have a huge fight with the firefighters, and this has been going around past year over the pay issue. So why didn't you just sort it out and get over done with it and move forward? Because you knew your campaign is coming up.
Well, you can't pay what you do not have. If you ask me for something, let's say your child comes to you,
Yeah.
and like I went to my mom,
Yeah.
and said, look, I want a car,
Yeah.
and my mom said, son, we can't afford a car, we don't have it, and I go back to, Mom, I want this car. I want the car. And she says, but we can't afford the car. Or if I take all of the resources in our home and put it on your car, everybody else will suffer. And she would say, I have all these other kids to take care of. Sylvester, I cannot do it. Now, does that mean that she didn't love me? No. Does it mean that she didn't want to satisfy my greatest desire? No. But what it does mean is that she recognized that she was responsible for all 9 of her children and for maintaining the household. The same thing with respect to firefighters or any group.
Yeah.
As the mayor of the city of Houston, I have to oversee the entire budget for the entire city. I have to make sure, for example, that police officers, that we have enough police officers on our street, that the firefighters are taken care of, and the fire trucks and the equipment, the people who are working in our parks, in our libraries, at the healthcare system, roads, taking care of the infrastructure when the rains come down.
Yeah.
All of those things have to be taken care of. And it all comes out of the same pot of money. And so if any group, if you come and make a request for a pay raise that's more than what the city can afford, then everybody will suffer. So there's no question firefighters are deserving of a pay raise, no question. But they are deserving of a pay raise that the city can afford. And what I did is that for last year, for our municipal workers, the people who pick up your trash, work in the libraries, they negotiated, came to me. We sat down
and had a discussion.
And we reached an agreement. 6%.
So you think that was very politically motivated campaign against you or something like that? I mean, why? It was just such a huge cry about it.
Because
like you're explaining me, like there's other city workers came to you, spoke to you, had a discussion,
Right.
sorted it out.
Right.
You gave the example of the children. I agree.
Right.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
There are always mama's favorites, so that could be the police department.
Well, I don't have favorites. My favorite is the city of Houston.
So
And just
why?
Like,
Was it politically
but let me just say, with municipal workers, the people who pick up your trash, work in the parks, libraries, health department, they negotiated, came to the table, 3-year pay raise, 6%. 3, 2, and 1 over 3 years, 6% total.
Wow.
For the police officers, they came to the table, negotiated with the mayor, 2-year agreement, pay raise of 7% over 2 years, 4 and 3. With the firefighters, sat down and talked with them. I offered them a pay raise of 9.5%, 9.5 over 3 years. Just like police, 4, 3, and an additional 2.5. They turned it down. What they asked the people in the city of Houston to give them was 29% in 1 year.
That's a lot.
City can't afford it. So are you going to be mad with me if you ask me for something that the city cannot afford and I simply say no, but I can give you 9.5% over 3 years? Are you going to be mad with me? Is the public going to be mad with me? Because the money doesn't belong to me. The money belongs to the people in the city of Houston. So if any group, take out firefighters, because I don't want it to, if any group, if the police officers, let's use them.
Yeah.
If the police officers had come to me and demanded a pay raise of 29% in the first year, I would have told them no. The city cannot afford that. So I have been a supporter of firefighters and police officers and municipal workers my entire 30 years since I've been a public
So what was
servant.
the deal? Then what you're explaining me, it's a doable plan. Then what was the issue actually? There should be something behind that, like how? Then why this went on and on?
Well, they didn't accept it. They wanted 29%. I can't make you take it. Okay, just like and again, I want to put it where hopefully people can understand it. I went to my mom many times and asked her for things that she could not afford, and many times she said no.
Yeah.
Okay, well, should I just stay mad with my mom because she said no? No. And should everybody be mad at my mother, let's say, for telling her son no? So just because I say no to any particular group, let's say in this case firefighters, and I know we all love and respect our firefighters.
It's for the city.
But I am the manager, the CEO for the people of the city of Houston. I was elected to make sure that we operate within our financial means. And sometimes, you're not always you can't say yes every time. You can't.
Yeah. But another question very quickly before going on a break, like there is a no confidence vote for Sam Pena. Are you going to, Peanut, are you going to support him then?
Oh, I support him 110%. That is political. Sam Pena is the fire chief, not just for the fire department, but for the city of Houston. That no confidence vote means absolutely nothing. That is political. That is 100% political. And I believe the people in the city of Houston will see through that. That is the union making a political statement in a political season when the election is right around the corner.
Wow.
Look, so, and I wanted to be very clear to you and to your listening audience. Do the firefighters deserve a pay raise? Yes.
Yes.
Did I offer them 9.5? Yes. Is that still on the table? In fact, I have offered them more than 9.5 over 3 years. And as a result of that last proposition, what people may have forgotten, the city has already given them $17 million that they are not entitled to. I have not asked that. I have not clawed that back. Okay? So, we'll work through it. But I think Houstonians understand, who are having to take care of their own household and deal with their own expenses, that even though someone in your household may want something, if you cannot afford it, then you can't put yourself in such a financial hole that you can't continue to move forward. And people do that all the time. They put more than what they should on their credit card, and they're not able to pay it. The city has to balance its budget. The other thing people need to remember, since 2004 in this city, we are operating under a revenue cap. Just Wednesday, in the last city council session, because we are bumping up the revenue cap, we lowered the city's tax rate for the third time, and which takes out $43 million of revenue that we cannot use. We lowered the city's tax rate.
Definitely, the city is a lot affordable city if you compare it to the other cities. But there were like accusations of, you're not showing them the budgets and whatever you spend on and this and that. They asked for quite a bit.
Everything. We are a public entity.
Yeah.
Everything that we have is fully transparent.
And it's open.
And it's open. We're a city. We're not a private corporation. Okay. We are the city of Houston, and all of our financials are fully available for anybody who wants to see them.
All right, let's just take a very short break, and after the break we will be, let's go on a very short break. After the break we will be talking about some more points, topics over here, which people would like to listen to. Stay tuned, keep watching NTV Houston.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Bump Promotion presents Idol Kid Diwane Cruise. Come on board and experience a mesmerizing journey with Manish Paul, Salman Ali, Nitin Kumar, Sachin Valmiki, Nilanjana Ray, Avanti Patel, Vibhor Parashar, Kunal Pandit, and Ankush Bharadwaj. Customized halal and Jain food. Call 1-877-600-5998 or visit www.jalbacruise.com.
Every day, law enforcement, firefighters, tow operators, and other emergency personnel risk their lives responding to calls for help. The move over or slow down law requires that you clear the lane closest to responding vehicles or reduce your speed to 20 miles per hour below the posted limit. Following this important law helps prevent crashes and saves lives. The next time you see flashing lights ahead, travel smart and move over or slow down. A road safety message from Houston TransStar.
Welcome back. You're watching NTV Houston with me, Sophia Jamal, at the prime time, and we have Mayor of Houston, Sylvester Turner, with us, and we are asking him some questions, and he's telling us what exactly happened. Am I correct, Mayor?
Yes,
are you
you're
exactly
correct.
telling us, like, am I giving you the option of talking?
And I'm providing you with the best answer that I can. And I hope.
All right, let's talk about,
Sure.
we are in the hurricane season again.
Yes.
People living in Houston
Yes.
are worried, Houston being completely sandy and flat, and we are worried.
We're the Bayou City.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bayou City and all that. Why it took so long to recover? For like, it's been like, it has taken so long for the programs to repair damaged homes, and there were programs. So why did it take that
Well,
long?
bear in mind, you had more rain that fell on this city than any city in the United States history. That's number one. We had about 125,000 single-family homes that were impacted.
Yeah.
About 200,000 apartment units that weren't impacted. And the dollars that we received, the dollars that were awarded by the federal government, okay, those dollars were just made available this year.
Oh,
See what that people don't understand that. Those dollars, the $1.3 billion approved by Congress, authorized by the president.
after so many years.
Those dollars just became available this year for home repair and home recovery. And it's not like 1.3 billion is sitting in the city's account. We have to do the work, and then we are reimbursed. So, for example, let's say someone's home was flooded.
Yeah.
Okay. What we have to do locally is that we have to verify your income.
Yeah.
Everybody who was impacted should fill out a survey.
Yeah.
Okay. And it takes only about 2 to 3 minutes. It's a simple survey, but that gets you into the queue.
All right.
About 20,000 people in Houston have done that. Okay, then we put you, you're giving us a statement that says we're moving forward on your application. On every application, we have to verify your income
And that's a long process.
and that you are the owner of your home,
Yeah.
who the heirs are. That's the eligibility process. And then on every file, we have to do an environmental site inspection.
Oh.
We have to check for lead and check for asbestos on every file. These are federal requirements. Once you do the eligibility and do an environmental site inspection, takes about 45 days. Then the file is sent to the state, to the general land office, and they review for eligibility, whether or not you provided all the information on the environmental site inspection. And once they sign off, then the file is sent back.
That's a lengthy
That's why I want people
procedure.
to understand the process. And it's only after the state signs off, then we are authorized to either issue you a reimbursement check or put you with a contractor to repair and reconstruct your home. And we have to do that on every single claim.
That's lengthy.
And the money was just made available this year.
Okay, Mayor, tell me,
Yes.
what is a complete community project you're working? I want you to tell us about what is it all about?
Well, Complete Communities, when I came into office as mayor, I said on Inauguration Day that I did not want to be the mayor of two cities in one, a city of haves and have-nots. I grew up in Acres Home. It's a very modest, low-income, community. I grew up, we call it, I grew up in the hood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. As the mayor, I still live in that same community. But in that community, like in many neighborhoods across the city of Houston, there are certain things that every community should have, but these are communities that have been underserved and under-resourced for decades. They need mixed income housing, okay? Because unless you have the mixed income housing, you're not going to get the quality grocery stores. We have too many food deserts in our city in certain neighborhoods. Quality neighborhood schools, parks and green space. And I mean functional, accessible, quality parks. Business, job, and economic opportunities. The whole notion with Complete Communities is that the city says we're going to focus on these, in this case, 10 communities. Because you can't do everybody at the same time. Otherwise, you'll just be spreading out the limited resources. So I've selected 10. And I've asked faith-based organizations, nonprofits, financial institutions, developers to step in and leverage their resources on top of the city's resources in these particular 10 communities in a concentrated way to transform these communities for the better a lot quicker, okay? And it is working. Now, we're not transforming these communities to displace or move people out who have been there. And we don't go in saying this is what's best for you.
Yeah,
we go in and
you
work,
have to develop it around them.
Right, and we work with the leadership, with the people, with the residents in their communities, and we say, okay, what is it that you need? What are the resources that you're working with?
Good schools, grocery stores,
and
walking pathways.
And we partner with you. So, for example, one of those, the Gulfton area.
Yeah.
They're one of the most diverse communities in our city. We're focusing on that. Gulfton, Fort Bend, Sunnyside, Magnolia Place, Manchester, 2nd Ward, 3rd Ward, Acres Home, Cashmere Gardens, A-Leaf, and I may be leaving out just one. But those are the communities that initially we're focusing on. We're normally in these communities for about 2 years.
Yeah.
But we are addressing affordable housing, mixed income housing, economic development, those type of things.
People still complain, like there are issues over there. They keep counting the potholes, which is strange, obviously, because if you look at the population index, the way it's growing, the city, it's in 18 years' time, it's unfathomable. You know, you cannot figure it out, like how fast it grew.
Yeah.
How about the crime rate? I'm not going to get into the debate of the potholes, which is, I think it's silly at the moment with the people living.
Well,
Let's talk about
but let me just say on the potholes, when I came in, that was a huge issue. But since I've been mayor, if you call in a pothole or send in a pothole to 311, we assess and repair that pothole by the next business day, 96% of the time since I've been mayor. Now, that doesn't mean we have fixed every pothole.
Definitely.
But if you see a pothole,
we
define a pothole 5 feet by 5 feet. Now, if it's bigger than 5 feet by 5 feet, it may require panel replacement, or that street just may need to be totally repaved. But on potholes, if you see a pothole, run over a pothole, take a picture or call in 311, and the city will assess and repair that pothole by the next business day. And when you look at the dashboard of the city of Houston, we are doing that since I have been mayor. Over the last 4 years, 96% of the time, we are on it by the next business day. Now, you were about to talk, Sophia, about something else.
The crime rate.
The crime rate?
Last night, in the morning, you must have had early morning with the gun violence going on. Are you happy what the HPD chief is working on?
I'm very happy, but let's...
I know he's your favorite.
I'm very happy, but let's look at the stats. We have fewer homicides today than we had as of today, in 2015.
So what is
homicides-
the issue there? Because crime is still there, Mayor.
Oh,
So
if
is it the gun violence? Is it that related?
Well, let me just
to
say, if it's only one crime, if only one person in our city is being shot or being burglarized or assaulted, that is one too many. Because for the person who's being victimized, they could care less if it's not happening any place else in our city. But if you are assaulted or victimized, that's one too many.
Yeah.
So as mayor, I'll never be happy until you get it down to zero.
Yeah.
If it's just one happening in our city, it's too many. Now,
definitely.
the reality is we need more police officers. We need about 600, at least, police officers in our city. That's number one. But a part of complete communities, where you're addressing communities that have been overlooked and neglected, okay? A part of complete communities is providing opportunities in these neighborhoods where people have felt left out. That helps with public safety, okay?
Yeah.
Because when people feel as though their communities, we are responding to their communities as if they do not matter, okay? That they are not important. When they're having to walk past parks that are not functional, or where there's or where there's illegal dumping and trash, okay, or abandoned buildings, okay, or when their schools are not up to par, then they feel as though nobody cares about them. So we have to create a city where in every neighborhood, in every community, it's a neighborhood of promise, of opportunity, where people have hope that regardless of where they are today, their lives, if they work, play by the rules, they can advance. That helps public safety, okay? Because when people lose hope, or when they sense that people do not care. Okay. Then
because knowing that there are so many master planned areas in Houston, if you look at Woodlands and Sugarland and a lot of KD areas. So I'm sure like a lot of areas which are not master planned, they were developed way earlier or something like that. I'm sure the neighborhoods must be feeling like nobody cares for us.
Well, and that's why for me, it's about creating master plan communities and neighborhoods that have been overlooked and overserved. That's why, for me, I still live in a neighborhood in which I was born and reared. That's a low-income community. Because my message to people in these communities across our city is that you can grow up even in a low-income community. But if you work hard,
you can reach that.
You can become the mayor of the 4th largest city. And that helps law enforcement. Because the police officers can't do it by themselves. The community and law enforcement have to work together, be on the same team. That's why it concerns me when we're talking about immigration and deporting people and separating
immigration
families.
is another
Well,
point I was coming to. I was coming to this.
And that's why
you said Houston is welcoming. I want to know from the mayor how welcoming it is.
It's a very welcoming city. Because you know why, Sophie? Because we are a city of immigrants. There are some people who came to our city seeking a better opportunity for themselves and their families. They came voluntarily. And then there are some people like my ancestors who were brought here involuntarily against their will, but we are here. Whether you came voluntarily seeking hope and opportunity, or whether you came here involuntarily as slaves, okay, we are all here today. And just like I am the mayor, I am a descendant of slaves, but I'm the mayor of the 4th largest city of the United States, the most diverse city in the United States, where 1 of 4 Houstonian is foreign born, where we speak more than 140 languages, where we worship to different faiths,
places in different faiths,
ethnicities, all of that.
Different colors, different castes.
And so for me, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your language, your ethnicity, your faith.
That's why you're going to be giving the introductory opening to Indian Prime Minister who's coming end of this month.
That is correct.
Yeah, so you're very popular in Southeast Asian community. How did you manage that?
Because I love them and they love me back. because I see them, appreciate them, and respect them. Look, it's diversity in our city is our strength. But it's also important because you can be diverse and be separate, segregated, and apart.
Administration in the federal districts, they think like that?
Right. But if you are diverse and inclusive, then people will appreciate that. And you have to have that diversity showcased around the table of decision making. And so for the South Asian community, they are a vital part of the city of Houston. They are Houstonians. They contribute to Houston. I don't treat them as foreigners. Mm-hmm. They're Houstonians. People have come from all over. But if you're here in this city, you're a Houstonian. You're a Houstonian.
My last question. You even mentioned Silicon Bio.
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means, people are familiar with Silicon Valley, startups, technology, and innovation in California. Okay, and people focus when it comes to startups and technology, this ecosystem. They either talk about the West Coast, Silicon Valley, or they talk about the East Coast, MIT, the Boston, the Harvard area. Okay, well,
Houston has a Silicon Valley.
Houston is the third coast. We're in the center, and this is Silicon Bayou. And so we are building out our ecosystem. That's why you have companies like Plug and Play, situated in Silicon Valley, but they have expanded now to Silicon Bayou. Build.com, out of Palo Alto, California, they have now expanded to Silicon Bayou.
Bayou in Houston.
Houston. Mass Challenge from Boston, Massachusetts. They are now operating in the city of Houston. A generator out of Wisconsin just had a press announcement this week. They have now expanded to the city of Houston. Microsoft, 2 months ago in New York, announced there are 3 major incubators. One of them, they said, the city of Houston. Google, AWS, now operating in the city of Houston. We're establishing this innovation corridor from downtown to the medical center. And right in the center is the innovation hub, the ION. Rice University, taking the old South Sears building and converting that into the innovation hub, shared and working with in collaboration with other colleges and universities, junior colleges in the city of Houston. So in this new ecosystem of startups, technology, and innovation, we are not walking into it. We are sprinting into it because that represents our future. We are the energy capital of the world, the largest medical center in the world, the #1 port in terms of foreign tonnage in the United States.
And all the credit President Trump will take. He'll say, my economy is doing so well under his tenure. So how can you take that credit?
Well, he can certainly take the credit, but it's because we are building this country from the bottom up. One city, one neighborhood, working together at a time. We represent the most diverse city in the United States. If you want to know where the United States is going, take a look at the city of Houston. But we are showing people in the country, in the world, that in our city, this welcoming city, we don't build walls. We build and cherish relationships.
Thank you so much, Mayor. I really appreciate your last statements. People need that. We have been interviewing Mayor Sylvester Turner, Mayor of Houston. He had quite a nice tete-a-tete with me, and a lot of people will find a lot of answers for whatever the questions, and especially the Southeast Asian community who are pretty close to the mayor at the moment. Keep watching NTV Houston. This is Sophia Jamal. Until next time.